There was a big fight on a cruise ship yesterday that forced it to immediately turn around and go back into port, and it wasn't Carnival. Let's get into it. Yesterday, Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas left the port of Miami to go on a 4-day cruise to Coco Cay, or Key or whatever. Don't get mad. Somebody always gets mad. And apparently a fight broke out around the pool area, and the ship had to immediately turn around. So many of you came into my comments to tell me that you saw the chaos. It's hard for me to discern like what actually happened. I think a lot of people saw the fight or remnants of the fight. Apparently one woman injured herself pretty badly, and another man had quite a bit of blood all over him. But at the end of the day, the ship had to turn around, go into port. Some people said they saw families having to be escorted off. There were a lot of police cars. And honestly, this just really underscores that people are crazy. They're batshit crazy. Sorry for the crude vernacular. Everyone's lost their minds. I mean, seriously, could not even make it one day. Could not even make it one day at sea. Had to immediately turn around. And this upsets me because those are thousands of passengers on these ships. Wonder of the Seas holds over 6,000 passengers.
Yeah, I've actually heard that they had to turn the ship around within the first 2 hours since they left the port. 2 hours. And there's already been a fight on the ship. People, y'all really don't know how to act when it comes to these cruise ships. First, you're trying to ghettoify Carnival. Now you're trying to ghettoify Royal Caribbean. It's like, come on. I'm just wondering what the prices for the Royal Caribbean was for this trip. Because we all know that the lower the prices, the more people have access to it, and the more likely you are to have to sail on a ship with a bunch of ghetto people. Even though they never said the race of the people who were fighting, but I'm pretty sure we can all guess by now. And this has nothing to do with race. This is just a stereotype that you are keeping alive and well, black people.
And when you think that the ship had to turn around and go back into port, all of these amazing passengers who are behaving themselves are going to have their itinerary messed with because, this affects port times for sure, but especially on these short itineraries. I firmly believe at this point there needs to be a no sail list that the cruise lines all come up with, and that if you are found to fight on one cruise line, you are banned from all of them. Sorry, not sorry. That's honestly how I'm feeling about it. Because I really think these types of incidents are only going to escalate for as long as we allow them to. If people start realizing, hey, you're going to spend thousands of dollars, you're going to end up on a permanent ban list, and you're also going to get banned if the people you're traveling with behave.
This was supposed to be a dream vacation aboard Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas. However, paradise turned into pandemonium Monday morning. Let's talk about it. Thousands of passengers set sail hoping for a vacation that was filled with sunlight, turquoise waters, and some island vibes, but instead they got front row seats to some drama that unfolded on the pool deck. There was an altercation between passengers, and it did escalate quickly. As a result, 2 passengers were injured, and the entire ship was turned around and headed back to Miami. Passengers on board the ship did describe the scene as chaotic. They said that one moment everyone was relaxing, sipping cocktails by the pool, kids were splashing in the pool. Next thing you know, you heard shouting and yelling, cutting through the music, and the vacation vibes gone. Now, I haven't seen any videos of the altercation, but they said people was throwing chairs, throwing food, throwing hands. The medical people from the ship came in. They said that all of the injuries that the people sustained were minor, but it was a serious enough incident for the ship to be turned around. So, needless to say, when the ship arrived back in Miami, Miami police officers were waiting at the dock. Royal Caribbean did state that passenger safety is its top priority and that it will be working with authorities and being fully cooperative in their investigation. One question that comes up is, how do small incidences escalate into bigger incidences that occur on the sea? But it is easy to think that when you add thousands of people, long lines, heat, alcohol, frustration, this is just a pressure cooker waiting to explode.
But you know what? That is not an excuse for poor behavior. That is not an excuse for poor behavior. You can't blame the heat. You can't blame alcohol. You can only blame yourself because no one told you to drink. No one told you to be outside in the heat. No one told you to get frustrated at whatever you're on a cruise. What is there to be frustrated about? That is just a scapegoat. Y'all love using alcohol to scapegoat to your bad behavior. No, you already had the bad behavior before you got on the cruise ship. This woman said that these people were throwing chairs, and it's only been 2 damn hours since they set sail.
The passengers are recovering, and the Wonder of the Seas is set to sail again later on this week. And before you ask, no, the passengers did not receive their money back, and there were several other passengers on the ship that were not involved in the incident, and they're still waiting to be issued a refund. So, as always, remember to share this video with a friend.
You see, I think the best way to make people behave is to hit them where it hurts the most, and that is usually in their pockets. If Royal Caribbean told these people that, oh, since we have to turn the ship around, now you are responsible for reimbursing every single person here because you wanted to act a fool, that would really change a lot of people's behaviors. Money definitely changed a lot of people's behaviors.
And save it for later and then come back tomorrow because this story is still developing.
So now black people are fighting on Royal Caribbean cruise lines nonstop. This is just getting out of hand. Now, what has just blown my mind is a recent video I just saw, a bunch of black teens fighting on Icon of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean's largest cruise ship. Boy, I know these YT people just be shaking their head, just shaking their head, just shaking their head. You guys for years have just fought like crazy on Carnival cruise ships all the time. I mean, it was truly expected for something like that to happen on Carnival cruise ships. However, you have now released your poison over to Royal Caribbean's cruise ships. And all of 2024, we have been seeing fights nonstop on YouTube of black people, and it's just getting to be so embarrassing. However, for you guys to be fighting on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas is just totally just mind-blowing. I've come to the realization that if you guys can afford to be on cruise ships, then I don't need to be on those cruise ships. Yes, my black people, if you can afford to be on those cruise ships, then I need to go to the Ritz-Carlton cruise ship and just pay way more money. Y'all have become just an embarrassment. You can't go anywhere without causing chaos and fighting and being toxic and arguing and getting drunk and liquored up and acting these way. But hey, we gotta hold these cruise lines somewhat responsible for this, because you cruise lines out here, you allow my people to drink with unlimited drink packages. You should never allow my people to.
I don't think that's the cruise line's fault, but I guess it has been confirmed that the people who are fighting were black people. Now, how could I have guessed? Gee, I don't know. Looking back at what happened on all the Carnival cruises, I've never seen any black couples, I've never seen any white people fighting on these cruise lines, but only black people. How could I have guessed that? The stereotype that, like I said, you are keeping alive and well. You're ruining it for everyone. And yes, he made a very valid point that I also agree with. When I see a cruise line is too cheap, like it costs like maybe 2 or 3 pairs of Nikes or Jordans, I already know to stay away from that cruise line. I need to go on a cruise line that costs like maybe 6 or 7 pairs of your Nikes and Jordans, because most of y'all don't have the funds or the credit to afford those, even though we already know that your credit cards are already ran up from buying Nikes and Jordans. But this has not surprised me. I'm just surprised that it's happening on Royal Caribbean this time and not Carnival Cruise. So basically, they're getting this from one place to another place. No, they already took down Spirit Airlines. That's going out of business. What airline is next? Royal Caribbean is next for cruises. Which airline is next? I have no idea. Hopefully it's not United. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and catch you guys next time.